So if you're over 50 and you're facing a career disruption, it can really feel like you're just looking at a pile of rubble. But I want you to see something different. I want you to see a foundation. This isn't about what's been torn down. It's about what you get to build next. Let's get into the blueprint for designing your second act and how you can turn this disruption into your most meaningful work yet.
The most important first step here is all in your head. It's a mental shift. We're going from demolition to design. This is not about dwelling on what you've lost. It's about recognizing what you now have the freedom to build, using decades of your own wisdom as the guide. This moment, right here, it's a construction site for what could be the absolute best phase of your professional life.
Okay, let's get one thing straight, right off the bat. Your career did not end. It was interrupted. And that interruption, as tough as it probably feels right now, actually holds a massive opportunity. So let's get into the playbook. We're going to map out the exact steps for building your Act 2.
Now, the first and honestly the most critical step has absolutely nothing to do with your resume. It's all about your mindset. It's about making a fundamental shift, going from survivor of a crisis to the architect of your own future. If you get this part right, trust me, everything else just falls into place. This right here shows the choice you have in front of you. Over on the left, you've got survival mode. You know the drill. Just finding another job to pay the bills, trying to get back to normal. And look, that's okay. But check out the right side. That's thriving. That's using this moment as a launchpad to build something that's intentionally better. More meaningful, more flexible, more you. That's the goal here. So how do you make that leap from surviving to thriving? Well, it all hinges on one thing. A growth mindset. See, a fixed mindset is that little voice in your head that says, I'm too old, or my skills are outdated, and it just locks all the doors. But a growth mindset, that's different. It says, hey, I can learn what I need to learn, and you know what? My skills are valuable in new ways. And with that single belief, doors you never even knew existed start to swing wide open. All right, with that growth mindset locked in, let's get tactical. It's time to talk strategy. We're going to focus on one really powerful concept, the strategic career pivot. This is your action plan. This is the playbook.
Now, the word pivot can sound kind of scary, right? Like you're starting from scratch, but that is not what this is. I want you to think of a basketball player. One foot stays firmly planted on the ground. That's your decades of expertise, your network, everything you've learned. But your other foot is free to move, to explore new industries, new roles, new directions. You're not starting over. You're just redirecting all that power.
And look, the formula for a successful pivot is actually pretty simple. Number one, you identify your core expertise. What's the one thing you've truly mastered? Number two, you find a growing industry that desperately needs that expertise. And number three, you pinpoint a specific painful problem within that industry that you are uniquely qualified to solve. That's it. It's a process that puts your greatest asset, your experience, right at the center of everything.
Let me tell you a quick story about Marcus. For years, he thought of himself as a corporate finance guy. But when he really dug deep, he had this huge breakthrough. He realized his true skill wasn't just finance. It was being a financial translator. Making complex numbers simple and actionable for people. That one little shift in how he saw himself opened the door to this incredibly fulfilling new career as a nonprofit CFO. So it kind of makes you wonder, what's your translator skill?
Okay, pivoting is a powerful strategy, for sure. But there's a deeper level to all of this. The ultimate goal, the real endgame here, is to evolve your professional identity. It's about making the leap from being seen as an employee to being recognized as an expert. And that shift, wow, that changes everything.
This really breaks it down perfectly. As an employee, you're usually selling your time. Your value is tied to the hours you put in. But as an expert, you sell outcomes. You don't get paid for your effort. You're valued for the specific, tangible results you deliver. Making this one shift is how you escape that trap of trading hours for dollars, forever.
And here's the bottom line. When you position yourself as an expert, you stop competing on price. There is always going to be someone willing to do it cheaper, always. But there won't be anyone else with your unique blend of expertise, your years of pattern recognition, and your proven ability to get results. That becomes your unshakable advantage. And you can start building that position today. Just write one single post on LinkedIn about a tough problem you solved. Not your job title, the result. That's the first brick.
You think this is all just theory? No way. Let's talk about David. He stopped selling his time by the hour. Instead, he started selling a 90-day financial transformation package, and his fee, $75,000. And clients happily paid it. Why? Because the outcome he guaranteed was worth millions to their business. That is the power of selling results.
So, we've covered mindset, strategy, and shifting to an expert identity. But the final piece of really thriving in your second act, it goes beyond just income. It's about legacy. It's about making sure the wisdom you spent decades gathering doesn't just retire when you do, but that it has a lasting impact.
And legacy isn't some huge, abstract idea for way down the road. It's built through the actions you can take right now. I mean, think about it. Mentoring a young professional, teaching a course on what you know better than anyone, writing down your insights, or serving on an advisory board. Every single one of these is a powerful way to pass on your wisdom and leave your field just a little bit better than you found it.
So, here's the final thought I really want to leave you with. Specific skills, well, they might change. Industries will definitely evolve. But the wisdom you share, the people you mentor, the impact you make, that is permanent. Your expertise is valuable, there's no question. But your legacy is priceless. So the real question to ask yourself now is, what will yours be?